Happy New Year. Welcome to the Blessed Mindset Matters podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Raquel Tolson, and I am here on WYTV7 where we educate, encourage, and empower. And if you feel like you've gotten any kind of education, encouragement, or empowerment, what I need you to do is go to www.wytv7.org and hit the donate button. We need the money because we have a lot of podcasters who are out here spreading spreading some good stuff to people all across the world. And we also feed families and we send kids to school. So please do me a favor and go hit that donate button. $10, $20, whatever you can do would be a help. Thank you in advance. So we are in 2022 and I like to do my numbers, like so numerology, right? Because I believe that numbers tell us everything. Numbers tell you if you're sick, numbers tell you everything, right? So 2022 is the number 6. 6 is a number of family, cooperation, love. 6 is an awesome number. And I'm excited about this year because I really want to talk about the family. Over the holidays, my family came out here. Most of my family, not all of them, but most of my family came out here and spent the Christmas holidays with me for like 8-9 days. It was so awesome, and we even had our great 3 of our great nieces and niece and nephews, and we had a ball. Family is everything. So for the rest of this season, from January to May, I'm going to talk a lot about families. I'm going to bring you people to, just to talk about how we strengthen the family, to strengthen families' love, communication, finances. We're going to talk about that a little bit today too, because let me tell you, it all starts in family. When people talk about the crime, I say it starts at home. It starts with the family. And it's not just the mamas and daddies. It's the aunties and the uncles and, the big mamas and all of that. It takes all of us. When it says it takes a village, yeah, in African time, it was the whole village. But most of the village were family members. So we just start there. Instead of me trying to tell other people what to do with their family, let me start with my family. Make sure my family is on point. And everybody, let's make sure our families are doing what they need to be doing. So that's what we're going to talk about a lot this season about the family, because 2022, the year of 6, family, cooperation, and love. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I hope y'all get excited. And if you are somebody out there listening and you talk about families, you help families, you do anything, reach out to me at raqueltolson.com and let me know that you want to be a guest and you want to talk about families and the importance of family and how to strengthen the families. That's what we're going to do for the rest of this season. All right, so one of the things I did want to talk about though is finances. I don't know if y'all really know this, but I sell life insurance. But I don't really think of myself as a life insurance. My father used to sell life insurance, so I don't really think of myself as just a life insurance salesperson, right? How we use life insurance, right? We use life insurance to build wealth, tax-free and risk-free. But in the month of January, we really focus on living benefits. It's Living Benefits Awareness Month. And I am going to talk to you more about that. I know we talked about it some in October during Breast Cancer Month. But we're going to talk a little bit more about it. So let me just start with the whole family thing, right? Family. We have got to strengthen our families. And one of the main ways that we can strengthen our families is to get this idea of independence out of our system. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, but we supposed to be independent. You ain't supposed to depend on nobody. Listen, I'm not talking about dependence. I'm talking about interdependence, where you have 2 independent people, or you have a group of independent people who are working together, who are not just saying, I'm independent, I don't need you. oh, y'all know I'm a black woman, so it's like I got my own money. I don't need no man. I don't need nobody. That's not true. God said two are better than one. Everything that God, like in the Bible, if you follow the Bible, everything is really about working together as family and love and, just working together. So we have to get that whole INDEPENDENCE. Gotta get that out of our system. Stop teaching the people about independence. Let's teach about interdependence, making sure everybody pulling their own weight. That's what we want. Even in a family of a little 2-year-old. My little son, he used to do stuff. I would come home from work, he'd take off my shoes, and he'd be like, Mom, he gonna give me a foot massage. He used to call it a massage instead of massage, but he used to tell me I had to wash my feet first because he didn't like stinky feet. Oh, too funny. But he did his part. He would bring me water. He would go change the channel, find the remote control. He did his part because we were all interdependent. I didn't just do everything in the house. We all had our roles to play. That's what family is about. Interdependence, not independence. So we can get there. Oh, we have done a lot. And I know it's a lot of people out there like, I don't need nobody. The Bible say you don't need no man. Not really. Nope. We need God. But here's the thing, and I've been saying this. God does not stick his hand down from heaven or from through the realms. He uses other people to bless us. So our blessing is tied and wrapped around in other people. That's why that whole independence mindset is not the answer. Let me just say this, y'all. I got all kinds of degrees. I used to make 6 figures, and I'm just taking a break from that job. But when I do 6 figures, now I was doing that for a long time, and I've done well for myself. Don't get me wrong, but I could have done better had I been married to the right man. Even though I wasn't married to no man, but if I was married to the right man and we was putting our money together, even if he didn't make 6 figures like me, I know some of y'all like blasphemous. Just because you make 6 figures don't mean you gotta have a man that make more money than you. Come on, that's a you gotta cut that down. That's a mindset that's messing people up. But he don't need to not be working. He needs to be bringing in some stuff, right? So if I was married to a man making $50,000 when I was making $100,000, we would have had $150,000. Now, if we would have had our mindset right and not spent all of the money, had the biggest house and all that stuff, but we lived off of the 50 and invested and saved the 100. Oh my gosh, what? We could have been doing well, right? It's not too late. I'm just 52. I can still find that person to help me build. And then I have my son, we doing it together too. It's just like my Hispanic friends. Their families, they will live together to help each other pay their mortgage. Instead of everybody living in apartments, doing their own thing and paying mortgages for other people, help pay this mortgage and then we can buy another house for y'all. And then, oh my goodness, y'all, if we would just get this family thing right, we could decrease that wealth gap that America has. Now I'm going to stop, and I want you all to listen to this video, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you a little bit more, and then we're going to talk about living benefits. Okay, so I'll be right back.
Interesting article in the Wall Street Journal. I hope you saw it. Interesting. It said that financial illiteracy is an American problem. That's what the Wall Street Journal said. Financial illiteracy is an American problem. It demanded that America, both the public, private, and independent sector, invest billions of dollars in bringing America to financial literacy. That's what the Wall Street Journal said in an editorial. And so we must devise a system that allows us morally and spiritually to fulfill Proverbs 13:22, that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. That is what the Bible tells us.
I'm back, but did y'all like Dr. Fraser, right? He is awesome. You can go and Google George Fraser, Fraser. Google and on YouTube, and you can find so many, so much more. He's brilliant. I absolutely adore him. Maybe I'll have to try to get him on a podcast so I can interview him. But I mean, what he said about financial literacy in America, the problem, this is exactly why I chose Five Rings Financial to work for, because Five Rings Financial, our mission is to educate middle America, is to educate Americans about their about their finances, to teach you about the rule of 72, to teach you how best to save money for retirement tax free and risk free. You have to learn about your risk aversion. Are you okay with the stock market that go up and down and up and down, or do you want to play it a little bit safer? All of these things, or you kind of want the middle. Like the bank is too safe, it's not giving you anything, but the stock market may be a little too heartbreaking, for you. It's too much for your heart. But then there's a middle ground, and that's kind of where I am in the middle ground, and that's what I teach people about. Life insurance, using life insurance not just as a death benefit, but using life insurance as a way to save your money tax free and risk free. But I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about it later, because it's something that we have to talk about, because if we talking about the family in 2022, then we need to make sure that we're leaving an inheritance for our children's children. We have to do that. And you cannot do that and you don't have no money. Or you cannot do that and you don't know about money. You got to learn how to budget. You got to learn how to say no to every fad and every, designer thing that everybody else get. We got to stop watching the housewife shows thinking that we got to dress like these folk. We ain't got to do that. And let me just say, a lot of celebrities, they get free stuff. They wearing stuff that they get for free. Y'all out here, we out here paying to look like them, but they out here getting stuff for free. I remember when Beyonce, she sent all the celebrities some Ivy Park. She ain't sent me none. Did she send you some? Okay, but y'all was out there buying it. I'm not knocking Beyonce. I love Beyonce. Yeah, I love Beyonce. But I'm just saying, if we want to take care of our finances, we got to start thinking smart. And Ivy Park is fine. Red Bottoms is fine. Doing a lot of great. Going on trips, because that's me. I love going on trips. I'm always going on trips. That's where I spend my money on trips. But we have to prioritize. I can't be spending all my money on trips and I'm not leaving no inheritance for my children's children. That's real. That's real. And so it's important that that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about that, because we are all about the family. 2022, 6 family, cooperation, love, all that. We talking about it. And y'all don't be mad at me. I already know. But hey, if I don't make nobody mad, I ain't doing it right. It's okay. I'm good. I hope y'all good. But let me talk about living benefits, because January is Living Benefits Awareness Month. They call it LBAM. And I think I talked about it back in October when we were talking about breast cancer. Excuse me. And I just want to reiterate the importance of living benefits life insurance. But let me go back. Why everybody in your family needs a life insurance policy, because GoFundMe was not created to pay for funerals. Y'all can be mad at me if you want. GoFundMe was not created to pay for funerals. It just wasn't. So what we need to do in 2022 is get everybody in our family a life insurance policy. Even the babies. if they a month old, they need a life insurance. I think it's 2 weeks old, we can start insuring a baby. We need to insure our people. Cause wait, y'all already know it's kids out here getting sick and dying. So we need to make sure everybody has a policy. They don't have to have $100,000 policy. $25,000 policy is probably no money for a kid. But that $25,000 would be helpful, right? And then because we're talking about living benefits, we're not talking about death benefits. We're talking about living benefits. If you get sick, if your child gets sick, there's a lot of kids right now getting sick and in the hospital with COVID. If your child had a living benefits policy and they got sick and they were critically or seriously ill, right? Guess what? You could accelerate the living benefits. So you can have some money because you know you can't go to work. Because you're at the hospital with your kid. You need some money for to pay the deductions. You know? To pay the co-pays. You need money for that. So that's why living benefits insurance, I push this. I am serious. Whether I can get paid off of it or not, I promise you, everybody, this year, my goal is to make sure every family member I have has a living benefits policy. And every family member that I know that's close to, you know, the people that I know, their families. I want everybody to have them. Everybody listening to this podcast, I want you to have a living benefits policy. Go to my website, www.raykeltolson.com, RAYKELTOLSON. Go look up the videos, but reach out to me. Go and look at the we have Money 101s. Go to my events page and look at and sign up for Money 101. They're all free. They're workshops, they're Zooms, and I mean, hey, you have no excuse. You have no excuse. Do it for your family because and not just men, women, parents, good parents leave an inheritance for their children's children. The only reason why I bought a house, I promise you, the only reason why I bought a house is because I have a son. And I wanted to make sure I left something for him. And I hope that he would keep it so he can leave it for his kids. And I used to tell him, I was like, you know, for every kid you have, you should have a house to give them. For every kid you have, you should have a house to give them. Now that might sound crazy, but I think it's brilliant. I'm not saying that means you don't have kids because you don't have a house to give them. I'm not saying that, but let's work toward buying property, buying homes, and having so the kids can have a house. Even if you don't, you know, if you save up some money, you know how we save up money for college? Let's save up money for houses. How about that? And if you can't buy the whole house, how about saving up money for the down payment, a 20% down payment on the house? That will go a long way to make sure they are homeowners. And then they can make sure that their kids become homeowners because that's just something that the family does. It's a deep thing. It's family. 2022 is about family and cooperation and love. Y'all can get tired of me, but it's okay because I want to strengthen your family. I want everybody in your family to have a living benefits policy. And then we're going to teach you about how to use a life insurance to build wealth, risk-free, tax-free. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about investing. We're going to talk about real estate. We're going to talk about all of those things to help build wealth for the family. But we're going to talk about, loving each other, communicating with each other. But I tell y'all what, money. The Bible says money answereth all things. And I know people, money can't do this. It said, money answereth all problems. That's what it says. Money answereth all problems. And they say, well, money can't buy you love. Well, it can't. But I can guarantee you, you got a lot of rich men out here that's got women. They got love. Y'all, I'm just playing. But seriously though, we gonna do all of that this season, and I can't wait. I'm ending early because I'm gonna leave you with a 5-minute video about living benefits. It's a testimony about somebody that had a living benefits policy. Please, listen to what she's saying. Listen to what she's saying. And after that, I need you to go to my website, RaquelTolson.com. Contact me so we can get you and your family a living benefits policy. Until next week, y'all be blessed.
My name is LaTasha McCray, and this is my living benefit story. I'm 38 years old. I'm a single mother of an 18-year-old, and I work in the banking industry.
I'm David Sutherland from Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm a living benefit life insurance agent. When I had first met LaTasha, 30 years old, single mother with an 8-year-old son.
I am an avid gym goer. I was really in great health. Dave came over one afternoon.
She explained that, what she was trying to accomplish was to protect her 8-year-old son in case something happened.
The idea that I liked the most about the living benefits, it gave me security to let me know that if anything happened to me, my son would still be taken care of.
What we ended up doing was a 30-year term policy for $250,000 with all the benefits included.
So I decided to put the policy in place with Dave. Years had gone by, and I'm just working every day, going to work, not thinking anything of it. And one day I get a phone call from my doctor. And they called to let me know that I was diagnosed with stage 2/3 breast cancer. It was one of the worst calls in my life. I literally thought I was like losing everything that I had always worked for. I had always been in great health. I had all these financial plans set. And just to hear that, it just made me feel like I was losing everything. I went into shock for about 2 days. I didn't eat. I couldn't really sleep. My doctors were basically some of the best doctors that we had, and they put a plan together how we were going to beat cancer. So it began with telling me the financial needs, of course, the surgeries that I would need. The funding itself was astronomical. My job was kind enough to say, well, we'll give you time off, but it will be unpaid. Therefore, I really didn't have any income coming in to take care of my mortgage, to take care of my son. My insurance didn't cover 100% of my chemotherapy, and I couldn't afford it. I had stocks, I had savings, but it was nothing compared to the money that I would need to take care of the chemotherapy.
She happened to call and say, I need to cancel my plan. I have a health crisis, and I've been diagnosed with breast cancer. And I said, well, no, you don't need to cancel your plan to try and save premium. You need to put in a claim.
Through my job, I had great health insurance. I always thought that because I had great health insurance, I was always covered. Chemotherapy wasn't covered 100% with my insurance. So the living benefit really came in and helped me take care of those chemo treatments, my radiation, my surgeries, my biopsies. There's a lot of things associated with cancer that the insurance companies do not cover.
That's what gets people in trouble financially. And that's why you have a plan with living benefits that you don't have to die to use your plan.
I really didn't have income coming in to put gas in my car, to pay my car note. And I remember speaking with my doctors, and they told me this financial plan was going to cost thousands. One of the first plans that I received was $20,000.
The claims process took 2 to 3 weeks at the most. And then LaTasha called me one day and just said, hey, I just got a check in the mail today for just a little over $65,000. She still has almost $170,000 of remaining benefit that's still existing.
Even though I was still fighting cancer, I still had surgeries I still had to recover from, financially, I didn't have to fight through anything because the living benefits plan was there. I just wanted to make sure that my son didn't feel that his mom was sick. He knew I was sick. It was something that I was living through. I didn't want it to affect him at all. He still had his cable, still had his games. And I know to a lot of people that's not important, but to me, it was important for me to feel like I'm fighting this, not he's fighting this cancer. Through a total of 9 surgeries, and 2 years later, I've been cancer-free, 2 years December. And my life has taken a total turn for the best.
she's back to living a normal life. And it's just a very rewarding, fulfilling thing to have been a small part of that.
The living benefit plan is something that everybody needs to look into, to spare just a few moments of your time, whether it's $30, $40, $50 a month. This is your future that you're thinking about. A lot of people say, I love my kids. If you love your kids, think about your kids' future. Think about your future with your kids, and think about your kids' future without you. If you're not thinking about all of these things, then you're really not planning for a future at all. And the living benefits plan basically makes sure that your kids are taken care of, you're taken care of, your illness is taken care of. Money isn't everything, but when you're battling cancer, it's a whole lot off of you.